What if Deku had Rewind? Part 4. Where I left off, both Izuku and Mirio got Eri back, or Eri. I call her Eri. They both got Izuku's sister, Eri, back. Night-Eye, again, extremely proud of them. After this, Izuku had lots of experience as he goes back to UA, finishing his hero internships. Now, since that's done, Aizawa tells them that they will have 4 weeks to prepare for the final exam. Everyone is kind of happy that school's almost over and it's a little bit time for summer. But Aizawa also announces that they will be going on a summer training camp. And if anybody fails the test, they'll have to be doing summer school. This causes Mina and a lot of other people to try and go study with Momo. Izuku does not care as he is already smart by himself, so he does not need the help of somebody like Momo, who is also smart. Time skip to those 4 weeks, they do the written exam. Other people also say since there's the hero course, they'll be having to do something hero related, which they do. Where they're going to have to face off against one of the teachers. People started saying that they might be doing robots that they heard from one of the third years, but it turns out they changed something up. Both Izuku and Bakugo are teamed up together to fight All Might. Deku at this point can probably control maybe 45% of One For All, and I'm also going to give him float. So that's basically what kind of manga spoiler. Float is Nana Shimura's quirk, so Izuku's going to have that unlocked. Now, as soon as they go in, All Might tries to punch Bakugo. Izuku jumps up holding Bakugo as he starts floating in the air. Izuku throws Bakugo towards the finish line and tells him just to cross and he'll deal with All Might. Bakugo knows that he's not going to be able to beat All Might, and he agrees very angrily. Izuku knew this would happen. Izuku didn't think he'd actually do it, but now it's Izuku versus All Might. Some of his classmates are thinking he's crazy that he's doing that against the number 1 hero at this time. So, after that, both All Might are both doing around 50% of One For All until All Might boosts it up to 75. Izuku knows he can't win unless he does the Rewind 100% or his Awakened quirk. Or One For All Awakened, that's what I'm going to call this. So he goes into One For All Awakened as he charges at All Might. Everyone notices the sudden difference in power as Izuku starts dominating the fight against All Might. All Might knows if he goes 100%, he's going to lose time on his quirk, but he ends up going 100%. He's still no match for Izuku. If you remember, the core of One For All keeps getting stronger and stronger as it keeps getting passed. All Might being the strongest, Izuku basically is double the strength of All Might at 100%. So Izuku ends up knocking All Might out with a quick neck chop as Izuku knows that All Might will possibly lose some time if he keeps going, if he hasn't already lost some of his time. Izuku runs and finishes as he crosses the finish line after handcuffing All Might, who somehow did not poof into his Skelly Might form. And if you're wondering why he can't just rewind All Might, that would somehow take One For All from him and give it back to All Might, and it also make him be like 10 years younger, something like that. Maybe 6'5". So both Izuku and Bakugo passed. Since they passed, they end up going to the summer training camp. Same people from canon don't pass, so now they're on the bus. They end up having to get out, and they do the same thing where they have to run to the training camp. Izuku defeating the Earth monsters by either punching them with One for All, now 50%, or just rewinding them. So Izuku pretty easily gets there faster than everybody else, as he was using One for All on his legs too to jump up above the trees and avoid most of the monsters. Since he was there, he met Koda very easily, and Izuku kind of feels sorry for Koda since he heard from Aizawa that Koda's parents were killed and not to mention anything with him. So after everyone gets there, they're surprised Izuku's there, but think nothing of it. They eat and then go to the hot springs. Same thing happens with Mineta going up, Koda doing the same thing. Izuku catches Koda, and just kind of softly pushes him over the wall. This allows a interesting experience as Koda then falls on the girl's side. All of the people thinking are gonna hear a thud, but nope. And then they hear a splash. Yep. I can let you imagine. I don't even know where I was going with that. Probably some stupid thing. But let's just go to the training part of the sports fest. No, the training camp. Once the training camp is done, or the night of the training camp, the villains start invading. This is spotted by Izuku pointing out that there's blue flames above the horizon. Everyone looks up to see that, or everyone that was left. Izuku was one of the very few who did not want to play the scare game. And since he did not want to play that, he's now looking for Koda. Once he arrives, he sees Muscular. Remember, in canon, it only took Izuku 8% full cow to beat Muscular. So a 50% full cow would absolutely dominate Muscular. Which, since that happens, Muscular ends up being easily defeated as Izuku takes Koda back. Izuku runs around, stopping Spinner, Magni, Mustard, and then he also stops Toga, but she ended up escaping. The only people left would be Moonfish, Dabi, and Kirogiri. He ends up running around, seeing that Dabi is there with Kirogiri watching a fight of Bakugo, Todoroki against Moonfish. Bakugos end up captured, just like Tokiyami, and Izuku ends up saving both of them. The villains are smirking as Izuku was pulled into the portal, not knowing what to do. Izuku is then placed in cord-canceling handcuffs. Rewind, I'm going to say, since it mutated to a better version of Erie's Rewind, it cannot be erased. So once they place him in the cord-canceling chair, handcuffs, whatever you guys want to be, and they start asking him to join the League of Villains, Izuku rewinds his chair, rewinds Shigaraki to the point where he's a 4-year-old. He rewinds Kirogiri to where he's a UA student. If you guys watch the Vigilante manga, if you guys read the Vigilante manga, you know that there was supposedly one of Aizawa's best friends. He had blue flame hair and some type of cloud cork. This is supposedly Kirogiri, who is in fact a Nomu. Since he did that, the person is now not brain dead, but he's just back to he's 26 and pretty much the same age as Aizawa. Izuku rewinds Dabi to where he has red hair and is now Toya Todoroki, and Izuku rewinds Toga back to a baby. This leaves the whole Love or League of Villains to be young. Shigaraki is 3 years old. We have the UA student who, in fact, has a hero license, which got never revoked since he just suddenly disappeared. You also have Toya Todoroki, who's also 3 years old, and then you have Toga, who happens to be a baby. Now, after this, All for One steps out and tries to take Izuku's quirk. Remember, I believe I commented on some of you saying the quirk cannot be stolen. So when he tries to do that, Izuku instinctively activates Rewind, which he accidentally rewinds All for One to the point where he's in his prime, where he does not need the helmet that he's wearing. All for One just laughs at the stupidity of Izuku and punches Izuku through a wall. This is almost at the exact point that All Might would have broken in. Now, since All Might just broke in, he starts his fight with All for One, which he'd end up dying to, as he is nowhere near as strong as Izuku. Izuku, in a fit of rage, goes at All for One with two 1,000,000% punches with his rewind on, as he keeps going like Star Platinum, just absolutely obliterating All for One, also killing him. This, in fact, leads some people to see Deku differently, but they also see how he tried to protect All Might, but All Might died, so they're also quite happy that he killed the person that killed their symbol of peace. Endeavor is now the number one hero as Izuku goes back to UA with the 3-year-old Shigaraki, 3-year-old Toya Todoroki, the baby Toga, and the 26-year-old person in a UA uniform, which he gives to Aizawa, asking if he knew him. And that's where I'm going to leave it off, guys. Sorry if this is a bit of a short video. And yeah, guys, bye.